As a recruiter, I always have people asking me to review their resume, and they always ask me how they can find jobs, like I'm some hidden job magic fairy that can just make jobs appear out of thin air. So this is my PSA to the world, letting you know that your resume does not matter when you apply to jobs. Well, at least not as much as people think it does. If you were to ask me what is the most important part of the job search, or what is the thing or things that you should be spending the most amount of time on if you want to get a new job, and it would be networking and preparing and practicing for your interviews. You should not be spending hours working on your resume or paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars to a professional resume writer to update your resume for you. This is not what really helps you get jobs. Allow me to explain. Your resume is basically just a static snapshot of your current experience, skills, and accomplishments today. So there is no fancy resume template, or adding multiple colors and charts and graphs and photos on your resume is not going to change what you have accomplished so far, unless you lie. And that's basically like the old saying, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. So as a recruiter, here is why your resume doesn't matter as much as you think. When I'm reviewing resumes, there's only two things that I'm really looking at. The first is the company that you work at, and the second is your current job title. If your job title doesn't match exactly for what I'm hiring for, or you don't work at a company that I recognize or is one of the top companies in my industry, I'm probably not going to spend much more time on your resume anyways. There is no resume template or professional resume writer that can change that fact. Start to think about your job applications as a weighted scale. On one hand, you have your resume, which is basically your background or your pedigree, or what the market believes your current value is as a candidate. And on the other half is your interviewing skills. You need both of these if you want to land a job. Obviously, the top companies are going to want to hire candidates that have the perfect balance of both. They work at the best companies and they have great interviewing skills. But in the reality, we're not going to be able to find candidates who can do both. This is why if you're blindly applying online, you're probably getting rejected or ghosted from all these companies. So what can you do about it? You're going to want to use your networking skills to go ahead and tip the scale back in your favor. You're going to want to have people give you work-endorsed referrals so that the recruiter will actually take the time to take a closer look at your resume beyond just the first 5 or 15 seconds. Then, once you have the recruiter or hiring manager's attention and they're open to giving you an interview, you can't screw it up by being an average interviewer. Now, on the other hand, if you have great experience and you look great on paper, assuming you're applying for the exact same job that you're already doing, you typically don't need to have that good of an interviewing skill because your pedigree and your background really helps tip things in your favor. This is like going on a date with an Instagram model who doesn't really have that great of a personality, but you're willing to overlook it because of how pretty they are. This is the unfortunate reality of how interviewing and applying for jobs works. But not to worry, hope is not lost. Always remember that you can tip the scale in your favor if you are a better interviewer than those folks who look better than you on paper. It's kind of like reverse catfishing somebody, where you're actually much better in person than you are on paper. Alright, I hope this video helps you approach your job search a whole lot smarter and get more job offers. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend who would find it helpful. Thank you all for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up.